You want the best for your car? You already watch our tutorials.
So the best place for the best deal is to buy from the Mr. Auto app. Easy, fast, and with better prices than on the website.
In order to change the oil, you will have to purchase an oil filter, a pre-oil change cleaner, and an oil collector. You can find the recommended parts and products in the video description as well as in the link to know the type of oil and the amount needed. Turn off the ignition. Pull up the handbrake. Pull on the bonnet release lever and open the bonnet. Open the oil fill plug. This will increase the oil flow when performing an oil change. Before draining the oil, we recommend adding a pre-oil change cleaner to the used oil. This will enable you to unclog your engine and get rid of any persistent residue to reduce your consumption of oil and fuel and to reduce the polluting emissions as part of a technical checkup. Before using it, start your vehicle for 5 minutes so that the oil is slightly warm. Then add the product and leave your engine turning over slowly for 10 to 15 minutes. Once the product has been added, you must not drive your car. Ensure that you change the oil immediately afterwards. In order to drain your vehicle, you must first lift the front section of your car. This will enable you to access the drain nut. Lift the front of your vehicle and put it in the 2-axle stands. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, raising your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. You can now see the drain nut. Using a socket wrench and a 13mm socket, unscrew the drain nut. Start the process with a wrench and finish off by hand. Anticipate this by placing a container underneath to collect the oil. You can learn how to make one by watching another of our videos, How to Make a Collector for Liquids. Be careful on the last few turns of the screw. The oil may suddenly squirt out. Let the oil run out for 10 minutes or so. Replace the drain seal with a new one, then screw the drain nut back in. Start by hand, then finish off using a wrench without being overzealous, of course. When performing an oil change, it is necessary to replace the oil filter. Access to the oil filter is done from underneath the engine compartment. To avoid letting the oil inside the filter from flowing out, place a collector for liquids under it. Since the filter is difficult to access, it will be complicated to release it by hand. We recommend using an oil filter spider wrench. Otherwise, watch the tips video, releasing a blocked oil filter. Unscrew the filter, turning it in an anti-clockwise direction. When it has been released, turn it upwards to avoid spilling any oil.
Please support us. Subscribe and like the video, that will be really cool.
With a new filter in hand, lightly coat the seal with oil on the screwed side. This will help avoid too much friction between the seal and the engine block. Friction can reduce the seal's waterproofing. Coating with oil also facilitates assembly. Rescrew the filter until you feel contact. When this happens, take it fully in your hand and add an additional half turn to tighten. Now, you have to put the oil back into the motor. You have to be very careful and precise when doing this part of the job. Firstly, put the crankcase back in place, then lower the car back onto the ground and check the oil level. This is something that can only be done when the vehicle is flat. Now, add the oil into the engine. Begin by putting 90% of the suggested amount. This will leave you a large enough margin to adjust the level of oil appropriately. You can find the exact amount of oil suggested for your car in the description of the tutorial. Close the oil fill plug, start the engine, and let the car run for 30 seconds. This will fill the oil filter. Remove the oil gauge and wipe it down. Plunge it back into its sheath, remove it again, and check the oil level. The optimal level is near the maximum, but be careful to never go over it. Based on the level indicated on the gauge, we adjust to obtain the optimum amount. Operation completed.
Hello, if this video helped you, like and subscribe.